So here we are with Infinitecraft, and I decided if I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna do this strategically so that I get every single thing. Spoiler alert, I did not get every single thing, but I was like, you know what? Strategic Infinitecraft, because my neurodivergent brain saw this game and went, yes please, thank you, I will be taking that. I don't know why I am so intrigued by this, but I am, and it is what it is. So I'm starting with just combining everything with itself until I get nothing new. So the only new thing I have here at the moment is the sea, and then that also leads to dead ends. Oh, okay, I don't know what I'm doing with that mountain range. We're just playing Ring Around the Rosie with it, apparently. Basically, my plan is I'm going to start with the first element, which is water. Then I'm going to combine water with everything else, just to see what happens. So I'm combining it with fire, wind, earth, and then lake, which gets me nothing new, volcano, which gets me lava, so on with all the things that I have. I'm even gonna combine it with all the new things that I make until we reach just a bunch of dead ends. So once I've discovered like a new item, I leave it on the board. I don't touch it until I've combined the element that I'm doing with everything else. So all the new things I'm making are just gonna sit there until it's time to move on to the next thing. And then obviously there I get a dead end, it just goes back to what it was, so I then move on. But we found a rainbow. We found hashtag pride. Yep. Thank you. I have seen some like crazy discoveries on this little game made by the one and only Neil.fun. You can make literally anything. I've seen people make themselves. I'm gonna say this now. I know that this game knows that I don't exist. I know that this game thinks I don't exist, and I am okay with that because in a way I don't, if I'm unknown to everyone, do I really exist? It's like a whole, like, if a tree falls down in a forest and no one's there, does it make a noise? It's like one of those type situations. If nobody knows that you exist, do you exist at all? I don't know why I'm getting so deep in a game made by AI where you're combining things together. That means nothing, really. But yet here we are. I'm now wiping the board clean, it looks like. Only now realizing that there is a clear button. So now we're moving on to our next element, which is fire. So I'm now combining fire with everything, fire and earth, all these things. I've made all these things already, so everything that I've already made gets tossed away because I don't need it, and we just keep going until we find something new, which at the moment we've only found one thing new. Smoke. Yep, that's what we found. It's not looking great so far. Oh, I found an engine. Love that. We've discovered engines in the same time that we discovered fish bowls and hurricanes. I mean, we found engines before we found sushi. We made engines before we found people. So who's making them engines? We found a dragon. I love that. Again, like, we found sushi, but who be making the sushi? There's no one here. There is no life here. The only life that we have right now is plant. That's and fish. Like fishes are alive too. Hashtag fishes are people too. Goldfish and dragons also alive, I guessed. I guessed? Whatever, bro. I guess. We've also discovered wasabi and the sun. We now have light. We've got boiled fish as compared to unboiled fish. We found solar, just solar by itself. Not solar panel. Alright, not solar disc, is that a thing? I don't know why my brain is telling me that that's a thing. We've got fire breath, man. Yep. So now that I have all these new things, I'm going to go back to the start and I'm combining these new things with water. Because I haven't combined water with any of these new things that I just created. So it's like a whole process. We start again from the top, and then when we reach dead ends, we let them go, and any new things, we start from the top again, and it's just a whole thing, you know. But it looks like Leviathan. I don't know what that is, but I've accepted that it's a thing. It's a whale. A whale is for some reason my brain is telling me that a Leviathan would be more significant than a whale, but perhaps I'm wrong. I mean, I've never heard of a Leviathan before. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I'm not a science person, I couldn't tell you. But now I'm combining wind with everything, because that's our next step, our next element. I do realize partway through this process that if I were to do this at the way I'm doing it now, by doing it strategically and, you know, going in order with the elements and combining everything with everything, that was the plan, was to combine everything with everything. But I do realize that there are flaws in my strategy here. I do realize that if I were to continue doing it as I am now, I would be here forever. I would be here for eons. It would be the next century before the game would ever truly reach a dead end. Which now has me thinking, is there a possibility that this game does have a dead end? Is there a way where you do create everything you possibly can and you are just left with a bunch of things that no longer combine with anything? Is that a dead end? Can you beat Neil.fun? Can you beat Infinitecraft by out combining the AI? These are the real questions, you know? But anyways, let me stop getting philosophical here. Got a firestorm. I need to catch up on what we got here. Kite. I don't know who's flying kites. The flying fish are flying the kites, apparently. We've got sand, mist, sunflower, and Aeolus? Someone can enlighten me on what that is. It's got a little wind thing next to it, so I'm assuming it's got something to do with that. At this point, I am also realizing that there's going to be so many things created that, you know, you see the scroll bar down the side. I'm going to have to scroll infinitely down until, like, that whole box thing is just going to be endless. It's going to be infinite. I mean, it's Infinitecraft after all. Only do I realize there's a search items bar down the bottom, but I'm stupid and don't see things like that. I'm too busy combining useless things with each other to indulge in such simplicities of a search bar. At this point, I realize there's a strat I can be doing here. I can pull down a bunch of the one element that I need. So in this case, wind. I could just bring down a bunch of winds, just fill up the board with them, and then combine what I need. It's just up to remembering what I'm up to. It seems like I've made sail multiple times. At this point, people be loving sailing, apparently. So, again, there is a flaw to this strategic play of Infinitecraft here. I am combining the same thing, like things I've already combined, which is a flaw. This is a unreliable experiment here. I've come to realize wine, we've created wine. Dionysus has blessed us with wine at this point. I think I would like to create the Greek gods, and I think I do at some point. I think I create Aphrodite and Zeus, but Poseidon as well, but do not quote me on that, and I do not wish to spoil the experiment for you that you see here. And I would be intrigued to see if I ever do come across Dionysus. We've got holy water, actually. Instead of Dionysus, we're going to make Jesus, the well-renowned alcoholic that he is, turning water into wine. As you can see there, holy water plus water makes wine. So, what is he really trying to say? We made a vampire from holy water. What are you trying to say there? What does that mean? What if... Okay, hear me out. What if Jesus, when he was resurrected, what if he was a vampire? Did we ever consider that? I'm just saying, dude. Maybe there's a reason why people depicted him as holy. It's because he glowed in the sun, He glowed in the sun when he walked out amongst his people. He was glowing. Discovered an aquarium for all our fish to go into now, because we seem to have found a plethora of fish so far. Fish bowls, sushi, which is dead fish really, but it all adds up. We found the rice for the sushi, because we made sushi without the rice before, apparently. And we found tractors to put the engines in. So, it's all coming full circle. It all adds up. And we found a planet for it all to exist on. So, it all adds up. It's all coming full circle. See, as I said before, struggling to find where I'm up to is the thing with the strat of just pulling down a bunch of the same element. It's up to remembering where I'm up to, which is something that is a bit of a bigger problem down the line when we get even more shit. All the shit, bro. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it. A lot of shit. We've discovered our first person, Dracula. It's our first actual person. Well, does he count as a person? He's a vampire. Does that count as a person? It's another life form, I guess. Actually, is it another life form? The whole point of vampires is that they're dead already. Does it count as a life form, actually? Wow. Problem with the strat of bringing down a bunch of the same element is that it takes forever. It takes forever to fill the board with the same element. only for you to have to bring down even more once you start creating even more new shit. But it's fine. It's literally fine. It's all for the experiment, you know? It's all for the experiment. We've discovered chickens. Fun fact, I'm a little scared of chickens. Just a little, okay? Not as much as I used to be, or actually, I don't know. I'm a little scared of chickens. Because, story time, when I was younger, like a small child, I went over to my aunt and uncle's place, who they lived on a nice big bit of land, and they had chickens just roaming around. And every time I went anywhere near them, the fucking rooster would start flapping its wings and squawking at me and chasing me. It would chase me, which for a small child like I was a devastating thing to happen. It was traumatizing, to be fair, and ever since that day, I have not been a fan of chickens. I have not liked chickens. But it's fine. I guess chickens can exist on this planet, along with Dracula and wine, I guess, I suppose. We've even found the egg that comes with the chicken. Does the egg or the chicken come first? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have to have a chicken to have an egg, but you can't have a chicken without the egg. In this planet, the chicken, I don't even know what combined to make chicken. It was like bird and earth or something to make chicken. If that's what AI says, then, you know, that's the answer. As if we haven't made river yet. That was a new discovery. As if we haven't made river out of all the other water things that we've made. With like lake and sea, wave, tsunami, and we didn't find river until now. We found penguins. Penguins at the same time we found rivers. New life form just dropped. Penguins. We've got a lot of birds, actually. We've got just bird in general. Then we have chicken, penguin, phoenix as well, which is a mythical creature, but still a bird. We found the Titanic, although there is no humans to board the Titanic this time on this planet, in this timeline. I'm not even sure if we've discovered... Oh no, we have discovered icebergs. Okay, so the Titanic still sinks. The Titanic still sinks in this timeline, in this alternate universe on this planet. However, there are no humans to board the Titanic this time. Unless it's filled with a bunch of Draculas. If they count as humans. I don't know if they count or not. Going down the milk and cheese route apparently gets us to coffee. Don't know how this has happened, but I don't know how coffee and wind have made storm, but it's happened. And now we move on to our next thing, our next element. I keep calling them elements, but I don't know if they are elements. Just our next thing to combine with everything else. Now that we've done the main four, the four that you start with, we move on to the next thing that we created, the first thing that we created, which was lake. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to combine lake with everything, and literally, like, we're just going down the list. Like I said, to complete the experiment as we're doing it now would take forever. We would be here for eons. Spoiler alert, did not complete the experiment. It was a DNF. It was a did not finish this experiment. But, you know, it was fun while that lasted. It certainly led somewhere. I don't remember where. but it led somewhere. As you can see, we're doing the strat again, and it's taking forever. It's taking yonks, but we're doing it because honestly, I do think it is a little more efficient, a little more effective than doing it all one by one. We're absolutely filling the board with lakes this time. I am leaving no space because I know I have a lot of shit that I need to combine. So I know that even this won't be enough. Seeing me combine lake with things that are kind of have already been combined and not finding anything new does feel a little silly, but it's necessary. It's necessary for the experiment. Everything must be combined with everything, because otherwise, how will you know? How will you know if it makes something new or not? New life form, unicorns. We've got another mythical creature. We've got a few mythical creatures as well. We've got the Loch Ness Monster as well to join them. We've got a phoenix, unicorn, Loch Ness Monster, dragons and sea serpents. This is a planet overrun with titans, mythical titans, and then penguins. And then penguins, just to balance it out, penguins and chickens. Flightless birds, just to balance it out. You see here, I've forgotten where I'm up to. This is what I was talking about. The more shit you make, the harder it is to remember where you got up to. It's quite possible I've combined some of these things together already. Like, I swear I saw myself combine iceberg with like twice. But this is just, it's what I'm saying about the invalid experiment. We've got another being joining this planet. We've got pirates. Pirates and Draculas is what we've got going on here. At least pirates are humans. At least we can consider pirates as humans. So we've got some sort of humanity, even if it's not the best of humanity. It's cool, pirates are cool, but not the best side of humanity. And see, look at all this shit. I still haven't merged with it yet. And I have to make sure I don't lose any of these new things that I've made when I go to bring down a bunch of lakes again to combine with stuff. Another bird, seagulls. And another bird, firebird. We found snakes, actually. The planet is slowly being filled with more and more diverse life forms. And I've now discovered the search bar. Would you look at that? I've discovered the search bar. It's going to be a useful tactic from here on out. But I sure hope I remembered where I was up to, though, in merging everything. Did I remember what I was up to? Look at me scrolling, trying to find it. I guess we found it. I suppose that's where we're up to, or at least I sure hope it was. New bird dropped, swan. And yeti, another mythical creature, dropped. We're noticing a pattern here. We've found our first person. Galileo, everybody. Galileo. our first person on this planet, just on his own, just here alone, looking at the stars, figuring out where the fuck we are and what the fuck is happening. I can just imagine him looking around at all these strange combination of life forms that we've got going on, asking himself, look, another bird, a duck, asking himself, where the hell am I? Where the hell am I? Discovering that we're on a planet, some odd planet with odd life forms and things. But at least we have someone to use the engines and someone to eat the sushi. Another mythical creature, mermaids. And the Loch Ness Monster has been given the name Nessie. Nessie, by the Scottish. The Loch Ness Monster. That was terrible. I don't even know what that was. And I'd like to apologize to everyone who just heard me say that. But we found our first Greek god. Like I said we would, we found Poseidon. Dude, I love Greek mythology. I don't know much about it, I'll be honest. Like, I know the gods' names and what they're the gods of relatively. But I just love Greek mythology. They're just a bunch of cool guys, Narcissus, I've noticed, is on the board. I have a question. Is Narcissus a Greek god of some sort? I must know this information. It is. Narcissus is a figure from Greek mythology who was so impossibly handsome that he fell in love with his own image, reflected in a pool of water. Even the lovely nymph Echo could not tempt him from his self-absorption. I'm assuming that this is where the word narcissist comes from this Greek character, Narcissus. Makes sense, right? All things have connections. All things come from somewhere, born from somewhere. I don't know who this nymph Echo is that they're on about, but they must be important somehow. I've noticed we've discovered our first place as well. Japan. Japan seems to be the only place we have in existence at the moment, along with Niagara Falls, actually. Actually, we made America. We have Japan and America. Two quite opposite lands on our planet so far. We have a very limited human life and very limited space for them to live. Okay, just an update. We have the full cycle of ducks. We've got duckling and duck. So we have a full life cycle of the duck. The duck is a fully formed life form on this planet. But new mythical creature, the abominable snowman, is here as well, welcome to the Himalayas type beat, Crazy to think, I'm talking about this as if, we're just going along and this is the order that we're discovering things in. But it is crazy to think that everything on our planet and everything we've discovered already existed. We just didn't know it existed yet. Like, that's kind of crazy, right? Like, all this shit with electricity and the internet and stuff like that. All of that already existed. We could do all that, ever since the planet was made, really. Like, all of this already existed. We just didn't know we could do it yet. We just didn't know it existed yet. Ain't that crazy? Someone tell me that's crazy, because I know it's crazy. But we've got a new place. We've got Venice. We've got Venice for our limited life forms to live in. And even with our limited life forms, we have made slavery. I don't know who we're enslaving. We have pirates, vampires, and Galileo. It's the only humans we've got, so I don't know who the fuck we're enslaving at this point. At least we have pizza. Thank God we have pizza for the people to eat. The people must be fed, and they will be fed well with pizza. Let me just say something. Pizza and pasta from the Italians? Bro, they know what's up. They know what's up. They know how to do food. They been you how to do food. I don't know why I'm dragging a bunch of elements here. I believe this is the beginning of a new strat. I am now dragging out everything that I've found individually, and I assume I'm going to then merge it all with one element, the element that I'm up to, which I believe I'm now up to volcano. New strat just dropped. I guess this solves the issue of remembering where I'm up to in our very long list of things, because at least this way I can put everything out on the board. I don't need to remember which one I'm up to, and then all I have to do is merge it with the one thing. It's all about, evolving, adapting, learning. This is the strats, alright? We're learning the ideal strats here. I feel like this experiment is a bit experimentational within itself. We're experimenting with the experiment, figuring out which is the best way to conduct the experiment as we're conducting it. Which is probably not the ideal situation, but that's what's happening. I don't think it's gonna fit. I'm gonna say it now. Even with this new development of strategy, I don't think it's gonna fit. I don't think we're gonna fit all our shit on the board. Look at how much we still have to go. I don't think it's gonna fit, my guy. Look at this. We've got so much shit on the board that it's going to have to go outside of the border of the game for me to fit it in. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's too much shit. We're trying to squeeze it into little spaces. I'm rearranging my things. I'm committed to this at this point. I'm committed to the strat. This is what we're doing. This is how it's gonna go. You can see it's the start of disaster here. I've accidentally merged some things that were on the board, and I don't remember what they were, and now I might not have the chance to merge them with the thing I'm up to, and that could be disastrous, because what if we miss a whole line of things, new things to make because of a silly mistake, like accidentally merging things when I was setting them all up on the board. This is what I'm saying. This is not a complete or trustworthy, reliable experiment, but it's what we got. It's what we got to work with. start the merging. All the things, all the non-new things, all the wasted elements, in my opinion, merging things when they don't amount to new things seems a little bit of a waste for me. But there we go, we've got 2 new things already. And we've found a new life form. Pterodactyl has joined the chat.